Hey, this is Matt. Welcome back to another video. We are going to be building a weight sled today. I said I was going to do that a while back, and the more I thought about it, I'm actually going to build one completely from scratch because I don't think everybody can get their hands on a broken hurdle. Keep in mind, I am no professional. I just kind of do stuff and hope it works out. I'm not really measuring anything either. This is all kind of be an eyeball. So I'm cutting these at about 3 to 3.5 feet, so everybody knows. Okay, now we've got our two mostly even pieces. You're gonna make an angle, do it on one of them, and then you're gonna trace that angle with a marker to make sure you can get the other one pretty close. So now, because I don't have all the tools in the world, I'm actually gonna grab my sawzall to finish this cut out. There you go. Not the best cut in the world, but I'm going for functional, not appealing. Okay, now we're gonna take our cut piece and we're gonna trace our line. Another cut. So I've got these pieces of sheet metal that we got from Lowe's. I was trying to be as cheap as possible, so I've actually only got 2 of these, and we're going to cut them since we're doing the 2 sleds. And these are going to go right at the edge to help make them slide across wherever you're at. So I'm going to cut these here. I've got a sawzall with a metal cutting blade.
Be safe. Oh, it's a lot better.
Make sure you're being very careful when you do this. And if you have a better, you honestly might be better off just buying 4 of these so you don't have to cut them. Then again, I don't know who would be building 2, so maybe just try to avoid cutting them. Okay, so now you've got your pieces cut. I recommend using a pair of ice grips to hold them together, so you only have to do this once. We're going to use a metal drill bit to make some holes so that we can mount them onto our sled legs. And if you were only cutting 1 piece of sheet metal, you could probably use a regular drill bit. I have a metal one, so I'm going to use that. Not going to take a whole lot, especially for these really thin pieces of metal. Just like that. So now we've got our pieces of sheet metal cut. We're going to go ahead and put them on our running legs here. Just something like this is all we're looking for. Really simple. Just like that. So it'll go over everything that it slides on. And then do this with the other one as well. Alright, so now we're going to take this 2x4 and we're going to cut it up into 3 or 4 blocks. I'm going to cut it into 4 blocks. That way we can use it to separate our sled a little bit, because I'm going to be putting in a rail to hold weight. They don't have to be anything specific. You can just cut them into a couple blocks. Okay, so I've got this pipe here that I did take off that hurdle. So I'm going to use this to be the rail that holds my weight. You could also use like a furring strip. It doesn't have to be that strong. It just has to be enough so that the weight has something to go around. Because it's not going to be jerked around that hard to where it's going to like break off a piece of wood or anything like that. So if you have like a 1x2 or like a wooden dowel or something like that, that's going to be able to work just the same as well. If you are going to use wood, I recommend you drill a pilot hole when you do this part. I've already got some holes here because of this pipe. So, yeah. There we go. Now we're going to take 2 of our blocks that we made. We're going to put them right against this to make sure it stays where we want it. Okay, so now you got your blocks on, you're going to push them together, and you're going to take one of the blocks that you cut, and you're going to put it on the end like this and drill that in, and that's going to hold it together from this side. Okay. Now we're going to mount the front together so it stays together when you're pushing it. For this, you can use one of your blocks that you cut. Honestly, I'll use anything that I can find that's around. I have this cut piece of plywood. This is what I'm going to use. So you want to mount it in the front here. This is going to hold the front together while this holds the back. So now we got our sled mostly put together, we got to build the handles. So we're going to cut this. This is going to be somewhere in the realm of a 20-inch handle. And this is what the part that's going to be mounted to the back of it. So we're going to cut 2 of these. We're going to mount them. And then I'll show you how I am going to make the angled uprights. It's not perfect, but again, it works. That's what we're going with. Okay, so now we're going to be attaching our arms. Now, with the wood that I have, this stuff is notorious for splitting on me, so I'm actually going to drill a pilot hole to make sure my screws don't split the wood. You want these to be flush with the outside of your 4x4 and flush with the ground as well. And then we'll attach some uprights to it after this. Alright, so now we're going to take another one of the 2x3s and we're going to kind of pseudo make our measurements. So we're going to line it up where we want it, hold it in, and then we're going to make a mark where we're going to cut it. now you have your arm cut at the angle. You're gonna set that in place, line it up with the top. If it's a little off, not a big deal. And then I've got these little brackets that you can bend in and out of place. Then we've got these little incher screws. It's all you're gonna need for this. Okay, and they're pretty good. We got a lot of support. That should do it. We're actually gonna take our drill bit and we're gonna drill one pilot hole right here. We're just gonna give it just a tad bit of extra support. When you're doing the second one, just try to make it as even as you can. If it's not perfect, it is what it is. Let's test her out, make sure she works. Okay, we got our sled built. Now it's time to get the workout in. It's actually later in the day, so this workout is going to take place tomorrow, which will be about 1 second. Okay, it is the next day, and we have everything set up to get a good workout in using the sled, and we kind of set up like a cross-training conditioning sort of deal, so that's what we're going to get going. I'll explain that here in just a second. Here we are. We're going to start off. We're going to do a set of 10 deadlifts. I'm going to be using 225. Then we're going to move over here and we're going to use the sled we just made. I'm actually going to use, that's going to have 70 pounds on it. 70 pounds. Then we're going to do a farmer's carry. Those are just 45-pound plates. Do a med ball throw. And then I'm gonna come back over here. We've got some rope. That was horrible. But we're here to push ourselves and grow and be better. That's what we're doing. That was 4 rounds, 10 deadlifts, a down and back sled pull for probably a total of about 40 feet. Not too crazy long, but definitely enough. Farmer's carries for a total of 40 feet down and back. 1 med ball throw. There's a 14-pound med ball. Use whatever you have. Cinder blocks work really well. And then the ropes, that was 20, I don't know what you call them, but out, 20 up, and then alternating for 40. Push yourselves and hope somebody can find a use for the sled build. If you like this, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.